Okay, so I've worked on a few T-cats for other people lately, and one thing that I've noticed that's never set correctly are the pickup shoes. 90% of the handling of this car comes from proper setup of the shoes, most notably setting the shoe travel by bending the pickup tab forward towards the front of the chassis to limit the travel of the shoe. Now, if you limit it too much, you're going to rob way too much of the power from one side of the car, whichever shoe you do, and you'll notice hesitation in the corners. So you got to be really careful to not limit it too much. Another trick you can do is if you're going to limit it more for a specific track to get around a tight 6-inch on a plastic track, for instance, you're going to want to up the tension of the spring to give it more tension. So the more you limit it, you're also going to want to increase the tension. So I'm just going to take this car here and take these shoes off and get started. So just bend the tabs forward, or up, excuse me. Pop the shoes off. And we'll start bending one of the new shoes. So one thing you got to do is open up this bend a little bit so the front of the shoe is open a little bit, and that's so that it catches the tab a little bit more so it doesn't fall off. The other thing you need to do is straighten the part that goes up towards the curve, and then open, whether you have the straight hooked ones or the curved ones, you need to open it up a little bit, and that's going to let the bottom of the shoe come down further towards the track so you're not touching on just the front of the shoe. And then you also need to bend the back part of it to almost a 90-degree bend so it's almost straight up and down. So we bend the front forward to make sure it catches more. We flatten this up. We make it almost 90 degrees, and we open up the hook. We'll throw that one on. And we'll bend the other one real quick. Put them both on. You want to eyeball it across the bottom just to make sure that they both look level. One is not at a much different angle of the other one. You can tell, I'm not sure if I can get the angle right here, but you can see that they're almost exactly the same angle. So we don't want to limit the shoes yet, because what we've got to do is pop a rear axle in, grab a test track, and you just want to go back and forth a few times to try to get a line on the shoe to make sure that it's going all the way across. So this one here is hitting a little too much in the rear, or in the heel of the shoe, and this one as well, but it's going a little bit further across. So with the T-Cat, it's not too bad if they're heel heavy. It's almost the same with the G, but the more you can get it to go across the whole length of the shoe, the better you're going to be. So in this case, what we want to do, we'll pop one shoe off. Since it's hitting too much on the heel of the shoe here, we need to increase the amount of the bend so that that pulls it up away from the track a little bit. Put it back on. That's the passenger side. And the line is going pretty much all the way across the shoe now. So we'll fix the driver's side by doing the same thing, opening up the angle a little bit more. We'll put it back on. And now we can bend the tabs forward towards the front of the chassis. We'll push them down a little bit, and you can see this side here is going to travel less than the passenger side because I've limited at the top. That's usually where I'll start, and if I needed to limit it more, if the car is not handling as well, I can later on. The other factors that I'm thinking about there is if it's a really fast track, I don't want to lose too much power. So if I'm going to limit it, or if I need to limit it, I need to make sure I increase the pickup tension. So that's pretty much all there is to setting the shoes. It is very important, again, on this car because it's not as efficient of an electrical or pickup system that the G and the Viper have. So you have to pay really close attention to how you set the shoes and the pickup tension in conjunction. Thanks a lot.